Hello everyone, Drodge here, back again with RuneScape skill guides. Now, we're about halfway through the skills. That is awesome news. However, today I'm going to be doing the skill called Fletching. Now, for those who have played this game for a while, Fletching is kind of an underrated skill. And it can be kind of a pain in the butt, because while it does raise very easily, it's not very good to actually train, mostly because as you get to a higher level, the only real big use is for two things: scrimshaws, which are in the mini game of player owned ports, but then there is also one more thing, and that is the dungeoneering stuff. So dungeoneering, very good, but even then, the highest stuff you get from drops. But really, in order to do fletching, you need to chop down a tree. From there, you can craft a log. You can burn it. If there's a bonfire within the vicinity of your character, you can add to bonfire, or you can use your knife. Your tool belt automatically has a knife. Now, to get started, this skill is extremely slow. But to get started, you can make arrow shafts. Now, the reason why it might not seem very important, you can also make your regular bows. But the reason why it might not seem very important is because, for us players who've been around longer, is you'll find out as you're going through, a lot of these items are dropped on a consistent basis from creatures. And once you get to a higher level, a lot of like your arrows are actually non-existent, because there's a lot of bows at a higher level that don't require ammo. One of the most popular, well, two of the most popular being the Zyrite bow and the crystal bow, because for that factor alone, they don't require ammo. But for the fletching skill, like I said, there's not much to it. I mean, there is that part of the starting, but if you are starting, if you head all the way north, I know you're not going to have a lot of money to start, but there's a gnome shopkeeper right here. You can get a charge bone. Guess what? It requires no ammo. And this is actually a lot of what the starting shop has. As you can see, you can get the starting weapons and armor. But see, the thing of it is, too, there's also a quest that if you do it right off the bat, you can actually just get some decent starting gear for pretty well nothing. I was going to show you some of the shops. I'll show you one shop. It's relatively near the actual lodestone, but it's a ranging shop, and in this shop you can buy different types of ammunition. I say ammunition, but it's arrows and bolts. Essentially, that is ammunition for this time period. Now, keep in mind, it is a medieval-based game, but like RuneScape says, it's medieval fantasy and emphasis on fantasy. So sometimes you will see some stuff that's like, well, that wasn't in medieval times. It's like, well, this is fantasy. As you can see, you can buy a ton of arrows. You can buy bolts. You can buy all sorts of things from this shop. And there's actually another one where you could actually buy even more stuff from, and that is in the city called Varrock. So if you're actually looking to make a profit off of this skill, unless you're doing the tradable versions of the scrimshaws, it is just not going to happen, because there's not much. Now, the only thing I'm a little bit unsure on, and it's mostly because I've never fought the boss itself, but there is a boss that drops stuff to make a level 90 bow, and it's a noxious gear, and it's dropped from a spider called Araxi and Araxor. So maybe it comes into play with that a little bit if you can make the bows or not. But otherwise, as you can see, the skill is very basic. There's not a whole lot to it. However, the components you can get for invention are actually quite decent from this skill. So for me personally, the only two reasons to really train this skill is for scrimshaws. I can't even remember what the other one was because it's not that great of a skill. Oh, scrimshaws and components. That's about it. That's it for this skill guide. And as always, if you want to see what you can make at the current point in time, if you overlooked something, just go into your skill guide, select maybe the category you want to go for, or just go for everything and then you can just scroll through it. I mean, there is a lot of stuff you can make within this skill. It's just, to me personally, I think there's a huge opportunity to do a lot with this skill. It might be just the fact that it is an older skill, and I've recently been touching on reworking some of these older skills. So maybe this one will get some love before long too. But that'll do it for this video. I hope you liked the video. I hope you got to learn a little bit about this skill. I'm sorry it's not a very complex one again, but not much I can do about that. So I hope you liked this video. I hope you're able to learn us a little something about this skill. And until next time, later guys.